Okay. Hello and welcome to Survive the Unexpected with your host Frank Pacino and my partner in crime, man Brian. And today we have a special podcast for you.
We are introducing Tony Ford. He's up here in my general direction. You might be over here in your general direction. But he is the host of Super Duper Survivor Org, and they are just now announced their 5th season. They're going to be running All Stars, which is really, really exciting. And then we are also going to introduce him as the winner of Broski Season 1.
The OG.
The OG Broski winner.
So you're a big Survivor fan, I assume. Most of us are.
Yep.
That's how you get into these crazy things. Let's start out with some of your favorite seasons. Like, what are some of your favorite seasons of Survivor?
Cambodia's probably my number one. I'm a big Jeremy fan, big Wentworth fan. I think them two absolutely killed it that whole season, and it was incredible to watch both of them play. I'm a big fan of Heroes vs. Villains. Who isn't? It's all everybody's favorite players pretty much going at it, and Parvati is queen. So, it was fun watching her dominate the game. What else? I'm actually a pretty big Russell fan, so Samoa actually is kind of up on my list.
We are also Russell stands.
Yes, we are Russell stands, both of us.
He's fun to watch. He's probably an asshole, but he's fun to watch. So
everyone's got a little asshole in him. It's okay.
Yeah.
Russell's got a lot of asshole in him.
Yeah. So that's probably my top three. I like Winners at War too. So I'd actually probably rank Winners at War ahead of Samoa. Samoa's probably 4 or 5 with.
Okay. That's interesting. I've never heard someone be a big fan of Samoa, so that's pretty cool. I am a huge Cambodia fan. Cambodia is my number 2 of all time.
Yeah.
So I'm totally on track with you. I love Cambodia.
Yeah.
I love it.
I like awesome. Cambodia, but it's like I think I ranked it like 9 in my ranking or something like that. My ranking.
I just think those idol plays by Wentworth were just like.
So
good. That was probably one of the greatest. Yeah, definitely one of the greatest.
My favorite moment is from that season. At least you made merge.
Yeah.
Oh, I love it. So good.
There's actually not been too many moments where I've gotten like the chills from a Survivor episode or season, and I definitely got the chills when she whoops at that idol. And it's like,
yeah, it was really, really good. Do you follow? I follow Wentworth on TikTok. Do you follow her on TikTok?
No, I don't. I'm not a huge TikTok user. I watch it like once a week. I just kind of go through it for like 30 minutes, and then that's about all.
Fair enough. Yeah, I go through it once in a while, but Wentworth does have a channel, and I follow her, and she always talks about Survivor and stuff. It's kind of cool. So if you're like a Wentworth fan, I suggest looking into it. It's pretty cool.
I might have to. Yeah.
I love it. It's, to me, it's the best returning season out of all of them. I know I'm one of the minorities on that, so.
I'm sorry. I'm a huge fans versus favorites fan. I absolutely love Parvati. Can't help it. That season was just, it was just so good.
It's a solid season. Definitely a solid season. You got Suri and
when did you start? When did you
season, right? Yeah.
Yeah. When did you start watching Survivor? Have you been a fan since the beginning?
Actually, I didn't watch it like early on. Like I don't know. My best friend, high school, Dylan, he watched it in college. Like he just kind of ran through it and was like, pushing me to watch it.
He froze.
It's like a huge commitment because when I watch a show, I need to start from the beginning and go. Oh, but can't just watch season 32 down. So I don't know. He finally got me to watch it months later. I knocked it out like in, I don't know, probably 5 months or so. And then a few months later, I watched it again, season 1 to season 40. So I don't know. That's how I got into it, I guess. My best friend told me to watch it.
All right, that's cool.
Love that.
Yeah, I watched it on accident at work. I was on break, and it was like we had two, 3 channels in the break room, and it was on. Yeah. And I started watching it. I was like, oh, this is actually pretty fun. And then I got into Big Brother more, and then got to Survivor after that. So
I watched Survivor live when I was young. I was like 7. Like I remember like Hatch winning, and like I remember like Africa and like that. I remember like back for some reason back in the OG days, my stepdad watched it and he used to record it on VHS tapes so he could like rewatch it later. So there was always like these black VHS tapes of Survivor at my house. But I kind of fell off around, I think it was after China, because I remember Todd winning, but I never remembered Parvati winning. So I think that's when I kind of fell off, was right in that area, and that was right when I was like my teenage years. So it makes sense, I was probably watching MTV.
Right.
Good.
I actually, the only season I've ever watched live is Winners at War.
Oh, that's interesting. Interesting. So Winners at War was the first fanboy in me in any season. Like I watched all the preseason press, I watched all that stuff. Like I've never watched any of that stuff. I never listened to podcasts before the season started about these people. I just watched the show. Winners at War was the first time I like fanboyed out for Survivor. So I was all in, and we was during quarantine too. So like I really didn't have nothing to do. It was nothing but Survivor stuff. So
I haven't seen a season live since China. China was my last season live because I felt, I fell off and didn't watch it. And then, and then I picked back up about a year ago when quarantine started. A year ago. Me and Frank played our first org together. Like his first org and my first org were together. And we bonded over that. And I was watching, do you remember what season we like?
You watched, I started watching Tom Weston's season. Yeah.
I was on season 10. And I was like, I'm watching them all the way through. And Frank actually hopped on and watched all the rest of the seasons with me.
Nice.
The funny thing is, so we're big Cambodia fans. The entire time she bashed Jeremy the entire time.
Okay, what? Listen. Okay. Jeremy's first game wasn't the best. Okay, and
no,
so
it wasn't.
whenever Second Chances came around and he got picked for Second Chances, I was like, why? Like I just. And then like his win wasn't like the flashiest win ever. It was right after, like Tony and like Natalie. And so, I was like, I thought that he was just a little overrated.
I told her on the rewatch, his game is a lot better because
what you're looking for.
Rewatch.
Yeah, it's great.
But I've read a lot and, I understand his game and I loved him in Winners of War. So
I feel like he was great on Winners at War. I thought he was so funny and I don't know. He's a great character for TV, I think, too.
Yeah. I liked him in Winners of War, but I hated that every time I saw him, he was sitting in the same spot. He was sitting in the same spot the whole time.
Hey, us dads have a spot and our children has to come visit us at our spots, okay?
Okay.
So you've mentioned Russell, you're a big Russell fan. What's like your top 5 favorite players?
We know it's Wentworth and
I guess.
Oh gosh. They're probably. God, I want to go in order. I'm a huge Boston Rob fan. He's top 5. Jeremy's top 5. Kelly's top 5. Parvati's top 5.
So one more. Give us one more.
I gotta say Tony.
I know there's like 500.
I was say there's a real easy answer. Tony.
I gotta say Tony. So that's my top 5. And Russell's right there. Russell's 6 probably.
Okay. That's fair. I'm not a big Boston Rob fan. I don't think Amanda is either. But
I totally get it. I get not being a fan of him.
If you asked 13-year-old me, I was a huge Boston Rob and Amber fan. I watched their wedding live on CBS and all that stuff. So 13-year-old me was like all about Boston Rob. But I think Boston Rob is. I hated his season he won, so I think that hurts it a little bit. I didn't like Redemption Island at all. It was the hardest season for me to get through to watch, and I think that is probably the biggest chunk of the reason why.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I didn't mind him on Heroes versus Villains. I didn't mind Rob on Heroes versus Villains.
Yeah.
I just don't like the people who are Boston Rob fans. Maybe it's like the Cowboys, like in Cowboys fans, like you just can't stand the Cowboys fans. Maybe that's it for me, Boston Rob, because like the people who cheer for Boston Rob are the same people who just bash Russell. I was like, you watch Boston Rob and Russell, they play similar.
Yeah, they definitely do. I love both of them.
They play similar, so like that's what baffles my mind. Like you sit there and compare their games. Like you watch All Stars, He played cutthroat, and he was kind of savage with it. And
Yeah.
what Russell did the same thing. But these are
Yeah.
the same people who are like, oh, he's terrible. Da, da, da. I'm like, look, I said Russell got robbed the first time for sure. The second time,
Yeah.
you could have made a case he should have won.
I'm not an Ally White stan.
So
They're out there.
like
They're out there.
you can make the same case, the same thing with Boston Rob. Boston Rob got the All Stars. He should have won All Stars. Everybody in the
I think he should have too, for sure. But
Yeah.
I give Amber a lot more credit than a lot of people. I actually think Amber played a great game.
Really?
I do.
Yeah.
I mean, I think Boston Rob played the best game, but I think Amber played a solid game. I think she was a lot of strategy with Boston Rob. I also watch Amazing Race, and
Okay.
I've seen them deal with each other. And Amber was way better at Amazing Race than Boston Rob was.
I believe that too.
More patient than him.
Yeah, way more patient. I tell you right now, if me and my wife played Survivor, we definitely clash a lot. If we played the Amazing Race, I'd just shut up and do what she tells me to do. So I am totally on Boston Rob's side there. I'm not saying nothing. I'm just gonna listen and be like, "You tell me where to go, sweetie, and we'll go."
Yeah.
I mean, I can maybe see Amber's game in All Stars a little bit, but I think that she's dead boring. That's my only thing about Amber is I think that she's dead boring. And I wish she was a little bit more of an interesting person. That's my one shtick about her.
My biggest gripe was Winners at War when she was like, "I just came to play for Boston Rob."
Yeah, that was lame. 100%. That was definitely lame. I think she's solid. Now she's older, but she was solid at challenges too.
Yeah,
she wasn't bad at challenges at all when she was younger.
Yeah, she just doesn't pop off the screen.
Right, she doesn't.
But do you watch The Amazing Race? So do you watch BB at all, Big Brother?
No, actually. So I need to try it again because because like I told you, I like starting from the beginning.
Oh yeah.
But season 1 apparently is like not even Big Brother.
No.
So I think
just skip Big Brother 1. You don't. Big Brother 1 is not even the same game.
It's not even the same.
There's only one player that ever returns, and it's only for one season. And you get him better later.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense.
Okay. So yeah, I'm on season 19 of Amazing Race now.
Okay.
So I'm trying to finish that, and then I want to watch the challenge too. So.
Oh, I love the challenge. Either. I'm trying to get Amanda to watch it. She has like, I'm not doing it.
There's 5 seasons. I'm like you. Like I want to watch it from the beginning.
Yeah.
I just cannot commit to that.
So like the first I want to say 8 or 9 seasons of the challenge, maybe less than that. You could just probably skip, to be honest with you, because it's like a totally different show than it is now.
I used to watch it a long time ago, but I don't remember like season wise what it was when I watched it at all.
So like you know how the challenge were in Borneo, Amanda? That's how their challenges are in the first seasons, and it's like really dumb. It's kind of dumb. The first first 4 seasons are really bad, but when they start to figure out where they are, I love the challenge. Here comes a train, by the way.
Cool.
Yeah, you should watch BB. We're actually we're doing Australian Outback next, and then we're doing Big Brother 2.
Okay.
So
we're gonna. That's like our whole shtick. With our podcast is like we're gonna do 2 seasons Survivor, 1 of Big Brother, 2 Survivor, 1 of Big Brother, and we're gonna get through all 62 seasons.
How many seasons of Big Brother are there?
22. But 21 because 1 doesn't count.
One good thing about Big Brother though is that there's not a lot of bad seasons like Survivor. Like with Survivor, there's like mediocre, like like Guatemala. It's where it's good but not as good. You know what I mean? But there's like with Big Brother, there's like a good string of like 7 really good seasons, and then there's like. 1 bad season, and then there's another shtick of like 6, 7 really good seasons. I mean, that's how at least I feel about it. I don't know how Frank feels about it.
So you and me disagree on a couple of them. So some of the ones that you don't think is bad, I think are pretty bad. So, I could tell you which ones I don't like off the top of my head. 11, 13, 16, 19, 22.
Okay, so what's the best way to
21.
watch them? CBS Access?
Yeah, CBS, they have all on there. It's Like the first few seasons, it's like 70 to 85 days or something, so it's not quite as bad. But like when you get to these later seasons, they're so long and there's so much.
Okay, so that's what
mixes.
I was about to ask. Like season 1, when I tried to watch it, it kept making me watch like the same episode over and over again. It seemed like I was watching like half of like an episode, and then it'd go to the second half of that, and it was different. I don't know. It was weird. Maybe it was just season 1.
I don't know.
Yeah,
Maybe.
don't watch. And honestly, like if you're watching Big Brother for the very first time, I
Yeah.
wouldn't even start with an early season like 2 or 3 because I mean, unless you're okay with watching old TV, if you're okay with watching like an old TV
Yeah, I mean,
style, like
Well,
yeah,
he started out with Borneo.
Yeah, I mean, I'm fine with watching older
that's true.
seasons.
If
Yeah.
you don't mind the older television, you can maybe start with like Big Brother 3 or like Big Brother 5. And you'd be perfectly fine with just to get the feel of how the game is.
Mhm.
And then go back and watch the rest. That would be, I mean, I feel like starting with Big Brother 2, your first time watching it ever is not the way to go.
My first season, I started with 17, but I watched it live, and then I watched 18, and then I went back and watched them all.
12 is a great starter season for Big
mm,
Brother. Come on, yes it is. 12 is a good starter season. 8 is also a good starter season.
8's good. 8's good.
So is 6.
6 is good.
there's a lot
I think you'll really like 6. 6 is definitely
Yeah.
a fan favorite.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's-
Try to give it a shot, really. If you like Survivor, I mean, usually Big Brother and Survivor fans go hand in hand.
I think the game mechanic in Big Brother is way more. It could be way more entertaining than Survivor at times if it's done right. It's as long, but when production starts getting involved and Big Brother lies too much on twists nowadays, and that hurts the game way too much. As you know, the same thing with Survivor when you have like Edge of Extinction and all these stuff and all this stuff going on, it just hurts the game.
Casting is also not as strong in Big Brother as it is in Survivor.
No, it used to be strong until about like 16.
Yeah.
Then it started going down. Okay. We'll start back up. I'll ask you another question. We got like 1 or 2 more Survivor, and then we'll talk about your org.
Cool.
All right. So what are some of your favorite like twists in Survivor?
So actually, Gabon is actually like very bottom tier of my seasons. Actually, I hate Gabon. I hate it. Absolutely hate it. But the twist where they do
look
the
at my shirt.
Oh gosh, I didn't even see that. Where they do the tribe swap. That's one of my favorite twists actually.
Oh
Where
yeah.
they do like where they pick. That was one of my favorites. What else?
Gabon, I call Gabon my guilty pleasure season. I love
Really?
it. The confessionals are so amazing.
I can't stand so many people. I can't stand Sugar. I can't stand Bob. I can't stand like any of
I
them.
love Sugar.
I think the only person I like from that season is maybe Ken, and he's like not even great in my
You
opinion.
like Randy?
No, I don't like Randy, and I don't get why. I don't get how people do like him. I mean, he's like I
Randy
get his humor.
invited 6 Survivor fans to the finale. He didn't invite any of his family. He didn't invite any of his friends. He was like, "Fuck everybody. The 6 people who are coming to the finale are going to be Survivor fans." And that, to me, that was just amazing.
What's another twist? God, I feel like I need to. I think I need a list.
You don't have to give us a list. If you come up with another one, just let us know. Yeah.
One twist I liked.
Yeah, go ahead. Tell us about yours.
Random and nobody really talks about anymore is Michelle got to eliminate a jury member, which I thought was kind of cool.
That is interesting. I don't know if I was a fan of that. I mean,
if you're an Aubrey fan, you were a fan of it.
At the time, I was an Aubrey fan, but when I watched it a second time, I wasn't. It was weird. I was actually a Ty fan.
Oh yeah,
second time,
Ty's great.
Mm-hmm. Ty doesn't get as much credit as he deserves.
I could actually probably give you more that I don't like, and that's like Ben's season when they just like kept I mean, I get you replace the idol when it's get played,
yeah,
but like I mean, he would play the idol, find the idol, play the idol, find the idol, play the idol, find the idol, and I hated that so much.
That's like one of my least favorite seasons.
Yeah,
I'm a person that I think they should have 3 tribes. If you can do 3 tribes, have 3 idols, and then you have put 1 at merge. That's it. Don't replace them at all. That's 4 idols is enough. And if they don't find them, they don't find them. It's their job to find them. And if they don't find them at their camp, start a cast with 18, 3 tribes. And then you have an idol on each speech. And then you have 1 at merge, no matter what. You put 1 at merge, no matter what. And that way, everybody at merge has a chance at it. Everybody's already had a chance at it. Everybody had the same amount of chances at an idol. That way, if they play 1 pre-merge, guess what? It doesn't get replaced. Then it just because it's too much now. Like with band seasons, you've seen it with even at Winners at War, like Natalie just found another one right away. It was just like a blink of an eye. And I love Natalie. It's not that I don't love Natalie. It's just it hurts the game when there's too many.
Yeah.
I agree. I think that there should be a limited number of idols, and I also think that I'm not a fan of 3 tribes starting. I'm just not a fan of six tribes starting.
Yeah.
I think it makes it really hard. Not a fan of that layout.
Yeah, I don't think I am either, really. And then Cook Islands, they did 4, didn't they?
Cook Islands, they did 4, and Panama, they did 4 when they did old women, old men, young men, young women. Yeah.
I don't think you should ever have that small of tribes. I personally would drive me nuts if playing the game.
Yeah.
So I can't stand Edge of Extinction. Take that away, please. I'm begging you. Just take that away. We don't need it. It's a worse version of Redemption Island.
Redemption. I think if you're voted out, you're voted out.
I don't hate Edge of Extinction for some reason. Everybody else does, but for some reason, I don't hate that twist. I really don't.
I think I would hate it less if it stopped at pre-merge. Like if they got into the when Rick Devens came in and that was it, the game's over for the Edge. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with 100%. But when they're coming in at 5 or 6 or whatever it is, it's like come on.
That's way too late. I mean,
way too late.
I don't hate Chris Underwood winning, but that's actually probably because he's from South Carolina, Myrtle Beach area, so I'm there a lot. But I didn't hate him winning, but I don't know. It's just weird having somebody come that was out of the game so much, come back in and play for 5 minutes and win.
Yeah, it was infuriating because the season to me, I haven't rewatched it. I heard on a rewatch it's better. I have not yet to rewatch it. So maybe on a rewatch I'll enjoy it more.
I hate the Edge twin. Because I'm one of those people that feel like, listen, Tony played great at Winners of War. I'm not saying that he didn't, but I wouldn't have hated if Natalie won because I think that she played the best game that she possibly could in the situation she was in Extinction. Even though she was voted out first, she worked her ass off to get to play her best game there that she could. And I think that could have been deserving as well, honestly. But I know some people don't think that.
I think all 3 of them were great. Honestly, I wanted Michelle to get some votes.
But if we start on this topic, we'll be here all night. So I better just keep my mouth shut because I am a totally different wavelength. It should have been a unanimous decision. Tony should have got all the votes.
I think Michelle played great.
Michelle plays the perfect second place game. She never knows what's going on half the time. She's very likable. People love her. She's adorable. She's cute. She's funny. She's fun. She's good at challenges, but she has no idea.
She was the only one trying to get Tony out. She was literally the only one.
Yeah, but how many times we gotta see this in their 2 seasons?
How many what?
How many times we gotta see this in their 2 seasons? Like what's going on? She has this look all the time. Like she has no idea what's going on half the time. I love Mish as a person, as a player, she's fine. But I would never. She's a second place player. That's to me.
Michelle, I'm not a big Michelle fan, but I do think that on Winners at War, she got a very unfair shake of playing with her ex-boyfriend. I think that gave her a really unfair advantage.
That whole situation was weird. It seemed like
there was a lot of pre-gaming going on.
I would have liked that. I mean, I think Michelle would have played better on her own without Wendell there. Even though Wendell helped her at times, I think that she would have played better if he wasn't there.
I couldn't even tell if they were really aligned or if they weren't. It was the weirdest situation.
It was weird. Yeah.
It was definitely it was like an MTV thing.
Yeah, kind of actually.
So all right, so I'll get one more question. I want to know this. What's your big Survivor hot take? What do you go against the grain here?
I'm a I'm a big All Stars fan, actually.
Okay.
Season 8. I don't think a lot of people like it, and it's probably because I'm a big Boston Rob fan. I'm a big Amber fan. At the time, I liked Rupert when I watched it. I don't know. Jenna Lewis, she's one of my favorite girls, actually. And she was the winner of, I mean, besides Boston Rob and Amber, I mean, she played incredible, I think. I don't know. It's a fun season. It was watching Boston Rob return was cool for the first time.
Yeah.
But yeah,
That wasn't too bad. It's not my cup of tea, but I don't like.
So long. I
It's so
need to
long.
rewatch it because
Yeah.
I mean it's so blurry to me. That's one of those seasons that kind of like blurs in my memory. I just can't really remember a lot of it.
yeah.
I do remember though that final tribal was bitter and
Yeah.
was like the worst bitter jury ever. And so that makes it entertaining to me.
So to me, like the winner means a lot to me. So like I don't think if a person's not at the finals and somebody else wins, oh, it's a bad season. But when somebody's there that deserves to win and they don't win, it's infuriating me, and it always marks it down like 2 or 3 notches to me. And that's
Yeah.
my issue with like some of these seasons that people love, is that some, like, to me the wrong person won, and so it just takes it down a little bit for me.
What are y'all's thoughts on Ozzy?
I loved Oz, obviously loved Ozzy. 13-year-old me was like, wanted to marry Ozzy.
Yeah.
I loved Ozzy until SoPa, and then when SoPa came, I kind of saw like, you know, not to use like an expression from like H versus V, but like, you know, like the Batman, the Superman costume, like.
Mhm.
Ozzy's game and SoPa was not my favorite, and then obviously when he returned a 4th time, I was just like whatever.
Yeah, I was pretty
really
over
loved
him for
him
Game
Cook
Changer.
Islands, and I think that he would have been a fair shake to win over Yule.
Oh,
think
yeah.
Yule deserved it, but I think that Ozzy would have been a fair shake to win as well.
If Cook Islands has a final wait, if Cook Islands had a
Final 3,
final 2, no, if it had a final 2, right? It had a final 3, right?
Yeah.
Final 3.
If it had a final 2, I think Ozzy wins, and that was the first final 3 season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It was Becky, Ozzy, and Yule, and then Sunder would have been 4th if they would have done a final 4.
My biggest issue with Ozzy is he's played 4 times now, right? 4 times. Has he done anything different from even any times?
No, he hasn't. I mean, I know. Let me think. I mean, Cook, he might have played. I don't even remember his Game Changer season, honestly.
Yeah,
but South Pacific, I mean, it was interesting while he threw himself into redemption just like he would have done on Cook Islands. It's like, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, I get where you're coming from. He doesn't really change, but people don't give him credit for like strategy, and I feel like he does have strategy, kind of.
He has strategy. It's not always the right strategy, but he has some strategy there.
He reminds me of Hayden a little bit in Big Brother.
Oh, don't you compare that. Don't you do that.
Listen,
we better switch the topic. I'm gonna lose it, Amanda. You're pushing my buttons.
His fans versus favorites game a little bit, just a little bit with Amanda.
I like Hayden. You talking about Hayden on Survivor, right?
From Survivor. I love Hayden.
Yes.
Yeah, Hayden.
Yeah,
okay, so Hayden also is on Big Brother.
Yeah.
He won the show, and he's great. Both times, both shows, he's great, and Ozzy can't sniff that man's jockstrap. Let's go on to the. All right. So we talked enough about Survivor. I want to ask you about some of your org career, because that's how we met, me and Amanda in the org. So how did you start playing orgs? How'd you find out about them?
So very first time I was on Twitter actually, and I was just scrolling through the feed or whatever, and I saw a Survivor game post, and I joined that game, and it was not. I mean, compared to what I'm doing now, it was really bad. But when I didn't know anything about it, it wasn't that bad. It was just like a couple little puzzle challenges, and you were voting people out, and it was kind of fun. And then I met Robbie in that game, actually.
Okay.
And then after that season was over, he was like, dude, come play Broski. We're starting this new Facebook game. And I was actually very hesitant to do it. And then last minute, I was like, all right, whatever, I'll play. And just because I knew I wouldn't know anybody, and I don't know, it was just, you just got to commit. Mm-hmm. And then once I committed, I was playing, and I really wasn't actually very active at the beginning. And I was saying hello, hey, and talking a little bit, but I was telling Breland, because we're best friends and we talk all the time, but I don't know. I don't really care about this game. I was just whatever. And then it kept going and going, and the game went on. I got pretty invested into it, and the way I won that season was crazy because, first of all, I didn't know anybody. Second of all, I was on the wrong side of, I think it was like 13 votes. I was on the wrong side of.
Okay, Cole. I mean Tony. Jeez.
Yeah, and so I don't know. It was like, but it was weird because once I got to Final Tribal Council, I was like 95% sure I was going to win just because everybody on the jury loved me because I didn't vote them out and we had good relationships through the game. But like, honestly, if I'm on the jury, and I tell Lynn this all the time, like I probably would have voted Lynn because I mean, she played great and people were just bitter at her.
So I know Lynn. I played my first Survivor game with her, and so me and her, I consider her a friend, and I was following, because I was friends with Robbie and Damien, and we were doing podcasts after this, your guys' like, votes outs and stuff. And I was like, Lynn's gonna take this. I kept saying, I was like, Lynn's taking this. And they just kept looking at me like, I don't know, man. They're pretty bitter. I was like, I'm telling you, she's so sweet and innocent. They're gonna forgive her by the end of it. And they did not. I was like, what? I was a big fan. Honestly, I love Lynn. So
I think so. During Final Tribal Council, Dion was probably the most bitter at Lynn because they were so tight.
Mm-hmm.
And during Final, what did I say? He asked me something, and I brought up the fact that it was his move at Final 6 to blindside Cameron because Lynn was trying to take credit for it, I think. But I brought it up to Dion that I thought it was his move, and then he just kind of went off at Lynn at that point, and I was just like, "Yep, I'll be quiet, let you go off on her."
That's crazy. Yeah, I played with Dion too, so.
But yeah, that's how I got started.
I didn't realize you just started when you played Broski. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, I think I was playing a Twitter game that was like even worse than the first Twitter game I played at the same time as I was playing Broski.
Mm-hmm.
But it was like the Twitter. I don't know. It's just way different on Twitter. Nobody really talks, and it's people you don't know, and I don't know. It's just weird.
I prefer Facebook platform, I think, so far. But I mean, I haven't played like Twitter or Instagram or anything. But I feel like
I played Discord and Skype.
I haven't done.
I want to try it. I haven't done it yet, but I do want to try it soon.
As you know, you hosted me. I love the video calls. So I don't mind the videos at all. Actually, I started that in Broski. So, because they allow screenshots there. So I was like, there's no way I'm talking game and let someone screenshot it. So if anytime I want to talk game, I video chat somebody. So there was no evidence. God,
I hate those screenshots. I gave Robbie and Damien a hard time. I think they're done with it. At least that's what they said after All Stars.
My
that's good.
Game was not good. My roast game was not.
I'll take the fall for me.
Game ever.
So I actually got to play twice.
Maybe if they have a second chance season, I'll be able to come back. But otherwise, I'm not going back on Broski.
Yeah.
No, you'll be second chance. They're like you, and plus I'll make them. So. What's the?
I think we have a winner now, right?
Yeah.
Credit, right?
What's the favorite game you played?
I mean, I really haven't played that many. I mean, I've played Broski and Torg is really the only two I've played. I mean, if you count Superfans, which I've played Superfans 3 times, and I mean, 3 times. I played after I won Broski. It was just the regular season, and then I got invited back for the season right after that, which was All Stars, and then I just played season 40, which was Elites, and it was like, honestly, I didn't want to play, but I was like, I don't want to turn down an All Star and an Elite invite. I mean, that's kind of cool. So I played, and it went fine. I mean, All Stars is where I got UP'd, which kind of sucked. But I knew that was there, so it didn't surprise me.
Yeah.
My favorite.
I'm better with SOG. I'll never play SOG ever again because I got UP'd.
Yeah, idled out.
I did.
Oh, okay. Okay. I mean, it's hard for me not to pick Broski because I won.
By the guy who I made Final Tribal Council with and the one that I won.
Ouch.
So Broski would be your favorite, your first season you won?
I mean, I won it. It's hard not to pick your season that you won. But Torg was a lot of fun. I mean, they had different challenges, and they had pretty cool advantages. They had the advantage. Farrah got it from winning like one of the subjective reward challenges, and it was to bring, if you get voted out of the game, or you can bring somebody else in the game at final 12 or final 13 or something. But if you got voted out, you could then will it to somebody else.
Okay.
And she willed it to Vreeland, and then Vreeland is when I was so mad at him because he brought back Farrah instead of me. And I was livid.
I didn't know that's how she told me when she told me about it. She made it seem like she was bringing herself back in. I didn't realize she had to give it to someone.
Yeah, well, because once she got voted out, she had to give it to somebody else.
Oh my god,
and
that's crazy.
Also, all right, so let me back up. So that tribal's going on, and I told Vreeland before that tribal happened, I was like, if Franklin plays an idol, he's 100% voting me because I was the one he was closest with, and if he knew he was getting votes and he was getting majority, he was going to vote me. Yeah. I was 100% sure, and I knew Vreeland had an idol. I was like, play the idol for me. If he plays an idol, that way it's 0-0 votes, and we can just re-vote like Ed or Dom out or something.
Yeah.
He didn't play the idol, which I was like, okay, that's cool, whatever. It's your idol. I wasn't too mad about that. But then I didn't know anybody had this stupid advantage that Farrah gave him. I didn't know that until after I was voted out. And then he was like, oh, I'm sorry. And then it was just like a huge mess because I was like, dude, if you bring me back over Farrah, if you bring Farrah back over me, like, I'm going to knock you the fuck out.
I was so bummed I didn't get casted for that game. I was so bummed.
Yeah, that'd have been fun to play together.
Yeah, I just got done playing Duper, and I was like, I wasn't gonna play, but then I seen it and I was like, you know what? I'll put it in. I think I put it on the last day, and Jay messaged me. He's like, I think we're gonna want you to play later season. I was like, why? And they're like, you know too many people. I said, dude, that doesn't make it easier. It makes it harder. Like if I would have joined that game, it would have been so hard, but it would have been so much fun. Because like I know I would have known so
I followed that season. I was like watching almost all the live tribals. It was
like an all-star season.
Watch.
But the people that got casted, it was crazy. I was kind of bummed. Yeah. But yeah, I have played a lot of games now.
Me too.
In this last year. My favorite game of my personal game I played is actually Super Duper. That's my favorite game I played of myself. I think I played the best. I've won a game, and that I played. Yeah, it was my best game I played. So I had a lot of fun. I had a lot of fun in Broski, and I never did good in either one of them.
The thing I hate about Broski, I mean, and I didn't send one screenshot in season 1. Didn't send one, and I still won. But then in All Stars, it was like screenshots galore, cross tribe chatting galore. And it was just a huge mess. And it was like, I wasn't even doing, it was almost like old school, new school. Like I wasn't doing all that. Like, I don't know. It was weird, but I don't know. I mean, that season's probably my favorite because I won though.
Yeah, that's fair. The season I won, I played like really low key. And so I was like, it's fun that I won, but I felt like I played better in other seasons that I did not win. So it happens.
My win was okay. My win
you play great. Stop.
My win was nothing to brag about. I don't think my win was anything to brag about.
I think she played amazing.
If I'm being 100% honest, I hope he doesn't watch this. He's gonna message me and be like, "I did too." I really think he doesn't think he does.
Who do you like to play? Who do you think you play like as a player? Who'd you compare yourself to?
Honestly, I like switching my game style up, but I think I hate this player a lot that I'm about to compare myself to. But I'm 100%. It's probably who I would be. It's probably Ben, honestly. I hate Ben. He's one of my least favorite players, one of my least favorite winners. But that's honestly who I kind of play like.
No, that's so good. That's so funny.
I haven't really thought about it before. I wonder who I play like. I don't even know who I play like.
I know who I like to take some care. I change up too.
Stop it.
I change up. I change what?
You're dumb. That's exactly what you are.
No, I like to play like
Dom from Ghost Island.
I play like Jeremy too. I like the meat shield strategy, especially if I play like an all-star season. I use that thing.
He also plays like Russell.
I do not. I am not.
Yes, you do.
I'm a
I've
nice
tried.
guy.
I've played like Boston Rob, kind of where he just kind of like really like kind of leads it and just controls it. I've tried that, and I've made it pretty far doing it. But I mean, it just kind of gets you voted out at like 5 or 6 usually, unless you
So
have complete people who are just letting
Not
you
good
in.
at running the game. Listen. I have more room to stretch out in the back seat of the car than driving it.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of driving, but I do drive. I like to drive the games. So, the way I played like a jackass in was in Super Fans. My second time playing, I didn't want to
Yeah.
play. I don't care for the game, to be honest with you. The only
Yeah.
reason why I play is because my wife wanted to play, and it was the pair season, and
Yeah.
so Oren was like, come on, bro, you and your wife play. I said, my wife can play with somebody else, and she's like, no, you and your wife. I was like, fine. I said, if she says yes, I'll play. So we played, and I told her, I said, look, just so you know, you're gonna have to do your own thing because I'm gonna play like a jackass to try to get voted out because I won't quit. And she's like, okay, just do you. I said, all right, cool. I literally went to people for like majority of the game and said, hey, this is what we're doing. And like, why? And I said, because that's what I want to do. And it worked. I got to like 7.
Yeah,
6,
I remember
and
keeping up with it.
there was no business me making that far. I was such a jackass in that season, and I was just waiting for someone to vote me out. And then I get the jury, and like 4 or 5 people were like, "You would have won." I was like, "What? Why?"
That's crazy. You
I was like,
I
"Oh."
did not play
I've got 4th or 3rd. Or it was,
and I'd like to keep it.
My wife got 3rd.
yeah. That's what I thought.
So yeah, we were actually I was the last returning player left and the last pair left that season. So I mean, I could hang it. And the thing is, I didn't want to play. I kept trying to get voted out. I was like,
Yeah.
I told somebody like, I was like, hey, I'm gonna vote you. So that way, if they played an idol, they'd vote me and vote me out. And they never did. They never voted for me. I didn't receive a vote until like 8.
Did you keep up with the elite season at all?
I did a little bit. It's
We never went to tribes. It was one tribe the whole time.
what? I didn't see that part. Oh,
Yep, one tribe the whole game.
that's crazy.
And then 9 people up until merge, 9 people won immunity each episode or whatever. So like if you were good at challenges, I mean, you're pretty much safe until final 15.
That's crazy. Michael Show played that season.
Oh God.
Yeah.
You know Michael Schaefer, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, he's like a survivor encyclopedia. Like that
Yeah,
kid,
no, he's really good at the trivia stuff and
really good. I mean, crazy good.
I was like, he's like, you remember the tribe name of this season, the swap tribe, the new one?
yes,
and I'm like,
I don't know tribe names like that.
Brother won that season.
He's just telling me all this crazy stuff. I'm like, man, I don't know how you get this.
It's like having a brain fart the other day on which season was season 36. I was like, which season is 36? I could not remember.
I don't remember the order. I remember the names.
I can't remember order. If you give me a minute to list them all, I can do them in order and with their winners, but it'll take me a second.
So, who's the best player you've played with in order? Don't you cop out and say Vreeland. Don't give that man more stroke than he needs.
I fucking hate him. I think he's trash. I would never say him.
Bigger to you.
Best player I've played with. All right, so there's. Oh, it's hard because I'm trying to like put out. I'm trying to like. I just gotta like cancel out hosting. I can't count that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I guess that'd be hard, wouldn't it? Trying to think
All right.
about. Well, because you get to see it from the other side of the mirror. You know what I mean?
Yeah. All right, let me think. So Berkey, I'm trying to look a bit over.
Hosting in there. I mean, you're technically part of those games.
No, that's a different question.
Yeah.
I guess so.
That's a different question because it's like asking Jeff Probst like who is his favorite winner. Like he has a different outlook. And if he played the game, he'd probably have a different outlook than that way too.
I guess that's true.
I'm thinking, I promise.
I'm thinking too. I'm like trying to think who the best.
You don't know who the best player you played?
Me?
Yeah.
You know, I would probably say Jay was pretty good.
Yeah.
He's not like the best ever I've played with, but I mean, he was pretty good. I don't know, because
So
there's been a lot of seasons because I'm back when I played like SOG, I was a nobody. Nobody knew who I was. I wasn't nobody. No one's like, I didn't know anyone. So like there's seasons I've played with really good big players, but I was out like third. You know what I mean?
So
So I
I
didn't really play with them.
I
I would
usually
say that one of the best players I played alongside is probably Dylan Campbell for my season with Corey's org. He was really, really good player. And Broski, obviously Farah was a great player. Jay was a good player. Not to like be biased, but Frank's a good player. I played with Frank a couple of times.
thank you. I was waiting for that.
Shut up.
So all right, so I think honestly, and I don't know if either one of you have played with her, but Kat, have you played with Kat?
No,
I have played with Kat. She
Yes.
was in my SOG season, but that was one of the seasons that I was voted out early. But I
Mariah-
have played with her.
Mariah played with her.
Honestly, she's really good.
Mhm.
I mean, she's extremely social. I mean, and she's so likable. So you don't want to vote her out just based on that. And she's actually, and this is kind of, I'm bringing hosting into it because I've seen her do strategy.
Yeah.
But she's actually very strategic. So I don't know. I think she's one of the best for sure.
So, I have a few that I played with. So usually the people that I find the best is the ones that can like pull wool over my eye, because like I'm not trying to toot my own, but like usually I could see it coming. So
Yeah.
like if something happens like in a blink of an eye and I just like you had me like under a trance and I figured it out too late, then it just enhances you in my opinion, especially if you win the season on top of that. So like this game I just played, her name's Ashley. She was in a Discord game. She was really good, very cutthroat, and which I love. So actually that's the reason I got voted out, because I went head to head with her and I lost. So so she was really good. She probably not very known around the Facebook community. Farah was really good. She did me pretty dirty, but it's the game. I was pretty butthurt about it at first for a long time. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't know if
But
you know or not, Tony, because I don't know how closely you followed it, but me and Frank going into final tribal council was not going to vote for Farah. We were dead set against it, and we were not going to vote for her. And she literally pulled off probably one of the best FTCs ever.
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah, so
it was great.
I'm not a fan at all.
I know.
But like, I mean, I can't sit here and say she's not a good player as much as I don't like her. I mean, I went for her in Broski All Stars. She got me voted out.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I got to give her credit. She's a good player.
She is a good player. So like I said, I was really butthurt. Ask anybody in that jury house. I was wanted to see her there. So I was very upset.
I don't know if you guys have played with Slade. Slade's pretty good.
I just played with him in Elite Super Fans.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I mean, he won it. And he was my number one. Well, maybe not number one, maybe like two, or he might have been my number one. I don't know. But I think I was one of his best allies too. And we worked together the whole game. And I mean, he definitely played well. The only thing I kind of knock him about is, and this could just because it was Super Fans, but he wasn't social with he was pretty inactive unless it was like an hour before the challenge. I mean, he kind of just went ghost afterwards. So I don't know. And that's maybe because it's Super Fans, but
yeah. I played with Slade one time.
I played his Hunger Games org. I loved it. Even though I was out early, I loved it. I loved the concept of it and the way he did it. The way they ran the whole thing was great.
I played with Slade one time and he didn't make it very far. So I kind of played with him. So like Michael is really good too. In All Stars, I played with him. He's really good. He just has a problem like finishing, to be honest. But I think Michael's really good. I played with him twice now.
Yeah.
So
Joshy's good. I don't know if you guys have played with Joshy.
Just a mini.
I haven't
count those minis. Because all right. So
he bases out of he's in Canada, isn't he? He is in Canada. Josh is in Canada.
I think so.
I'm not good at UK games or like games based in like different time zones, like way off time zones. I'm not a fan. Can't do it. UK games, I feel like, are a lot of main chat talk, and I mean like 400, 500, 600 messages a day. And to me, that's just too much.
Have you guys played with Lizzie Crabtree?
No, I haven't, but I've heard her name a lot.
Yeah, she's really good.
She's like the same as me.
Yeah, it's probably I played with her twice, and she was my ride or die. I wasn't hers, but I went all the way towards the end game with her. She's really
Yeah.
good. She's smart, and she's a sweetheart. So it's like you fall in love, like love her as the person. Like you're like, I don't want to vote her out. Like she's gonna cry, and I'm gonna feel awful.
Yeah.
And so she's all that. She's really good though. She's
Do you prefer hosting or playing?
Hosting,
Hosting.
no question. I mean, it's so much fun watching people, and we do it where we're in all the one-on-one conversations and everything, and I think that's where you really get like the juicy intel.
Mhm.
So I don't know, it's really fun watching people play.
One of my favorite things about playing Super Duper is when I was video calling, and I did like every night. I talked to every like 3-4 people every night.
Yeah.
Vreeland would be in there, and he'd just shoot me messages in my confessional all the time.
Yeah. Honestly, we're like the way we host, I think it bounces off each other really well. Because he's super into the confessionals and so am I, but he's like really into it. He pushes them and he jumps into the video calls, and I do too sometimes, but he gets it more than I do.
Mhm.
And then I'm more of like the
Challenge,
yeah. Rivals and stuff like that. So
I'm
gonna say this.
I'm so bad at submitting confessionals.
What were you gonna say?
Other players that I think are good. Dom from Broski All Stars. He played me big time. I mean, he lied to me. I mean, we were like connecting, I thought, big time.
Mhm.
And he got me big time. I think he's gonna be good. I don't know how much he seems like he invests once he's in, he invests a lot, but I don't know if he's gonna like play a lot of games either.
Okay.
And then Greg, I don't know if y'all have seen Greg's name at all. He played Super Fans my first season with me. He's very social. Talks a lot.
Greg with 2 G's.
Yeah, and his last name's Vasquez.
I loved him.
Yeah, I think he's really good too. Honestly,
he is.
I forgot somebody too, and she's scary, so I'm gonna say her name, Lillian. I don't know if you ever played with Lillian. She is a savage.
Is that Jamil's older sister?
No, that's Lynn.
Oh, Lynn, that's right. Lynn
Lynn's good too.
But
so Lillian, I played with her in Super Fans, and boy, does she have a fury with her. She's really good. Jester says that's the best player he's ever played with. She's definitely one of the top players I've ever played with, and I haven't played with her again. Actually, technically, I'm in a game with her, but I haven't come across her yet. So, yeah,
Marissa's good. I don't know you guys have played Marissa.
I haven't, but I've heard good things about her.
She's in the SOG. I'm in the SOG with her right now. I'm not in the same tribe with her, but I'm in the game with her.
She's really good. She is really good. Anthony's great.
Yeah, I've heard Anthony's really good. And
Vreeland had lovely things to say about him.
Yeah.
All right. So how did you guys come? Like how did Super Duper come about?
So we were hosting on Twitter actually.
Okay.
After I played my first game, we started hosting on Twitter. And we were on like season 2 when I was doing Broski. I played Facebook and I was really into it after I won Broski, and I was telling Vreeland, I was like, dude, you need to play season 2 of Broski. You need to check out the Facebook. Like, we can move over to Facebook. It's way better, I promise. Yeah. And he was kind of against it at first. He didn't want us to like waste first 4 seasons or whatever of what we did on Twitter.
Yeah.
But I was like, dude, it's like so much better. We need to go over to Facebook. It's cooler like seeing people, because on Twitter it's just like fake profiles and like it's just whack.
It's actual people.
So and then he played Broski, and then he fell in love with the Facebook aspect of it, and then he won obviously, and
yeah,
that's pretty much what got us started on the Facebook hosting.
So you guys were friends before he played Broski?
Oh yeah, we've been best friends since freshman year of college, so like 11 years ago.
Oh wow, okay, got you.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I did not know that. So that's crazy how you both are best friends. You just happened to win back-to-back seasons.
Yeah, it was wild. And then so the guy who won season 4, Brandon,
yeah,
he actually played the first Twitter season with me and Robbie, and that's how I met him.
Okay.
And so it was like crazy how we won 3 out of the first 4 seasons.
That's cool.
So cool.
Yeah.
What do you like about hosting?
My favorite part about hosting is watching at the merge. Once at pre-merge, it's not like fantastic being in the one-on-one chats, but like that hour in one-on-one chats before tribal and between challenges and stuff that we do is like, it's just insane. There's like a million messages going on. You're trying to keep up, and like some people you can just see is blindsiding somebody else, and like, oh, it's so great.
Like it's time consuming.
Yeah, it is, especially like there's so many like behind the scenes things too. Like, I mean, I have to admit, I make the logos. I know that I don't know how to pronounce his name, but like Region Rex or whatever his name is, logos.
Yeah.
And yours are great and all, but honestly, I had never done Photoshop or anything like that prior to hosting orgs, and I kind of fell in love with actually making the logos. I think I don't know, I really enjoy it. And so I do that, which takes a while. The tribe photos take a while. Coming up with the schedule takes forever, and like we try really hard to come up with new challenges. So like we're downstairs in the basement of like just throwing solo cups and ping pong balls around, just like trying to think of stuff.
Yeah.
So there's so many, and then just like dealing with like people asking questions, and especially if you hide idols, you got people circling shit and just sending you nonsense, like thinking it's an idol. I'm like, dude, there's nothing there.
I don't think I ever did that for you guys.
Listen, raise your hand if you're guilty of circling something that wasn't an idol, because I'll raise my hand.
Yeah, I mean, I do it too, but it's crazy. Like some people, I promise you, do it way more than all of us. Like,
yeah.
Oh, I bet.
Oh,
like
our season.
Lynn,
go ahead. Sorry.
Lynn probably circled over 300 things.
Oh my god.
Like, no joke. And she never found one idol. And she would literally circle a picture, like the whole picture, and she wouldn't circle where the idol was. It's like, oh my god.
So Misha, our season of Broski season 3, he was pre-merge with the on our tribe, and I guess he sent in like hundreds of things in like 3 days. It's crazy. And the thing is, like, so he's still, I don't think he's still a fan of me, because I kind of I kind of voted him out. It was my call. Yeah, it was my call.
That was during our season, right? That was our first, yeah.
So basically, Hector was like, "Hey, bro, Misha's like my number one," and then like you and Amanda are like right there. I was like, "Cool," and I went to Amanda and said, "Hey, we got to vote out Misha." And she's like, "Why?" And I told her exactly why. I was like, "Because then Hector's gonna have nobody but us, and then that's gonna be good." Yeah. And then we just gotta play it off like nobody likes him or something like that. So I went to, I think, Laura. And I was like, "Hey, yeah. Laura, how do you feel about Misha?" And she's like, "I don't know. He kind of rubs me the wrong way." I was like, "Yeah, he makes me feel uncomfortable." She's like, "You're right. He does." I was like, "Yeah." And I was like, maybe.
I'm like at work or something. And Frank messaged me, "Oh, we're going to get Misha out." Here it is, 20 minutes for a tribal. I'm like, what did this come about?
Yeah.
And I was like, "Hey, Laura, tell Jordan. Jordan will tell everybody." And she's like, okay.
Literally.
So yeah, he's not a fan of me, and he was like, we got rid of him instead of an inactive.
Yeah.
And so he was really pissed at me.
That was a good season. I tell you what, Broski was probably the best I've played so far. Even over the season I won.
I keep telling her to play Super Duper.
I know. You guys haven't asked me, so I haven't applied.
You just apply. I just applied. Well,
you don't ask people.
That's too much.
We're big time, okay? You come to us.
Big time.
All right. So I'm gonna get down to some real questions now. Ooh. Which season is your favorite of Super Duper?
Oh my god. Okay. I gotta run through this in my head.
That's fine. Frank will wait.
I will wait.
God.
I told her, I was like reading these questions. She's like, "You think he's gonna answer them?" I was like, "I'm gonna make him."
Of course I'm gonna answer. I don't care. My favorite season, honestly. Oh God, it was I don't want to say it until I know for sure.
He's like, they're blurring together.
He's like thinking of all the people who played. Thinking of all the things they did.
Honestly, I think it's season 2. Honestly,
Oh, yes, that's what I wanted to hear.
it's between season 2 and season 1. I'd rank it 2, 1. Probably 2, 1, 3, and 4. And
Yeah.
the only reason 4 is honest so low is freaking dealing with Robbie. And I'll tell Robbie that. I don't care if he watches this.
So I've
And
you know paid
Robbie's really
attention.
making a horrible, no offense to him, but he's making everyone pissed at him. I think it's
He
just
is.
he is just making everyone pissed at him. And I don't think he realizes it's like we're not kidding. Like
Yeah.
people aren't kidding, like they really are mad at you.
I have paid
Yeah.
attention and followed every season, even season 1, because I don't play first seasons anymore because I had a really bad experience with first seasons. And
Yeah.
so, and plus most of the notable players play like newer games, and I don't want to
Yeah.
play with those people anyways. So I just kind of skip the first season. And then usually ask the people who I'm friends with on the cast, like, hey, do you enjoy it? Was
Right.
it worth playing? And I do that with everybody. I don't even like Jordan and Michael didn't even bother to ask me because I knew I wasn't gonna play. So it's just
playing for their Pokemon. I need to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I've paid attention. I don't think you've had like a dud season though. Like
it's been crazy. No, everybody, all final. We haven't had a 0 vote finalist at Final Tribal yet. It's nuts.
That's crazy.
Wow.
That is a crazy stat. That is something. Yeah, because I've watched, paid attention, and all the votes. Like this season was just crazy. Of like some of the vote counts. I was just like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
Who do you think is the best winner?
Cole.
Debatable.
I think Cole's the best winner. I mean, I do. You played great. Like, I think the fact you were probably our. Lynn played great too. Honestly, you might be our best second place finisher because you tied with you and Wayne tied, right?
Yeah, me and Wayne tied. But I knew that was gonna be tough. I told you guys that before I even got there. That I knew sitting with Wayne was gonna be a tough task for me because
I think Cole played great. I mean, Sebastian's number 1 or number 2. It's between Cole and Sebastian for sure.
I definitely I don't care if he sees
wants
this.
me to play Torg. I need to.
I don't care if he sees this. I said it at the time, Derek should have won. I'm sorry.
No, I mean, I think I've told Derek that.
Yeah, he should have won.
Well, you probably actually think Michael should have won.
I think either one of those two should have won.
I see. Me and Villain both think Taryn should have won.
That I would have been fine with that. Derek should have won. When I watched him, I watched that final because Michael asked me to watch, and I watched because he asked me to watch. So I watched, and I was cleaning and listening. The man's answers were terrible. I'm sorry.
It was his first. It was his first game. I'll give him that.
Yeah.
He didn't really know what to expect. He got voted out. He went to Redemption Island.
Yeah.
He was very inactive actually until he came back at Merge, and then he wasn't like the most active person at all. But he just won challenges, and he did have a fake idol. That honestly was probably I think I put it down as the best play of the season. And it actually was a really good play by him, but it was kind of like his only move.
Yeah. I didn't pay, like, you know, of course you can only see so much from the outside, so you really don't know what's going on. You only can hear from what I ask you guys or ask people who are in the game. And I said I didn't like watch, you know, I can't see confessionals, can't see that stuff. I told Michael, I said, I don't know if you should have won, but I tell you right now that guy should have won. And I'll stand by that because Cole even I hope you don't get mad, Cole. I'm telling Cole and I were talking, and he's like, I don't know how this man's gonna win. I don't know how he's gonna get a vote. I said, I don't know either. And then he won, and I was like, what do you think? He's like, I'm not gonna say anything. It's like, Cole, you're too nice. It's just you and me. Just be savage.
Yeah, it was wild. We weren't expecting it really. I mean, we knew he was gonna get some votes, especially Corey and Haley's vote. Because they were kind of aligned right when the merge happened, and then Haley got blindsided. And then when Derek won the final immunity, he actually asked Corey what Corey wanted to do. If he wanted to do fire making to build his resume, or if he wanted him to bring him to the final 3 because he would have. And then Corey was like, yeah, just I'll do fire making. I need to build my resume anyway. And he ended up losing, but
I'm not gonna lie. Hearing you guys didn't have fire making this season gave me a little upset. But I won't try, because if we didn't have fire making, I win that season.
We've heard it from a couple people that they want us to have fire making more, but it's like you can't have fire making every time. It's got to be.
I think you should never have it. Personally,
really.
If I play again, I would like there to be no fire making. Request by me. Who is your favorite player? Doesn't have to be a winner. Doesn't have to be the best. Who is your favorite player you enjoyed hosting the most?
Taryn.
Who?
Taryn, the girl I was just telling you for season 3.
Taryn.
Honestly, she's awesome. She's so funny. She's the funniest player we've had by far. Confessionals and Unreal.
I have not played with her, so that's cool to hear.
Honestly, there's like, it's crazy. I feel like there's like 3, and there might be more, but there's like different like worlds, I guess. Like you have a section of people over here, a section of people over here, and then you have a section of people over here. And like that, there's like a different crowd over there with Taryn she plays with. But no, she was great.
I've noticed that too. It's like I meet somebody and there's like a whole other like community full of people that I've never even seen or heard from yet. I'm like, how is Survivor, based orgs this big to where there's still I'm still meeting new people that have been playing for years, or months or whatever the case is.
Yeah, I love Taryn. This past season, Vin, he was my host favorite. He was really funny too. And like he gave it his all. Like he wasn't great at challenges, but he literally, he would give it his all. Yeah. And I don't know, I appreciate that, especially when you have Robbie and Brandon who won't even do the challenges because they don't want to put a target on their back, them being good at challenges, even though they aren't that good at challenges. So I don't know.
I am Frank, you want to explain on that? You want to expand on that, Frank?
Hey, now I don't throw challenges all the time. I do sometimes. Like if I didn't,
you need to submit though. I feel like they wouldn't even submit the challenge.
You see, I'd submit. To me, my philosophy in the game: if I need immunity, I'm doing something wrong. The only time I really desperately wanted to win immunity in Super Duper was 5 and 4. The reason why I wanted to live 5 is so I could vote out Cole, and the reason why I wanted to do it 4 because I wanted to take KT to the end. And Wayne would have been so pissed at me. But I was hoping he'd forgive me and give me his vote because I felt like if Wayne was there, I felt like I wouldn't split with Wayne, and then I might have won.
Yeah.
The game I won, I didn't win a single immunity or a single advantage.
You don't need to.
Game. I didn't have a single advantage the whole game. I didn't win a single immunity the whole game, and I won.
See, when I won Broski, I had 4 idols, and I won 2 immunities. So I don't know.
Goodness.
See, I play totally different, and it pisses some people off because I tell like there was a game where the host was kind of irritated with me because I said, hey, just so you know, I'm not gonna win today. I'll put something in, but I'm not gonna win. And then like, so you're not gonna try? I was like, no, I am trying. I just don't need to win. So and then they just got mad at me and they were like, you're being so overconfident. And that's the game. I got to all the way to the end and I didn't win immunity. I didn't need to. It's just like it's one of those things that I just, to me, I rather focus. I'd rather focus on my connections with people. I rather spend my time on my phone calls than spend an hour trying to do this challenge. I'd rather spend an hour conversation with somebody and sit down with them and keep their eyes occupied on me and make sure that we're good. And I don't need the immunity. That's immunity right there. I had 3 votes going my way. That's immunity. So
I actually, season 1 of Super Duper had like 0 video chats, and you kind of started it, honestly. Or no, well, let me think. Yeah, you pretty much started it. And now, like when I play, I like doing video chats too. It definitely is a game changer.
So I started doing it in season 3 of Broski, and ever since then, I just do it all the time now. It's just because. For one, no screenshot, like, people now are starting to do new screenshots, but screenshots were the thing for a while. And I was like, I'm not getting in trouble. If I'm telling somebody I have an idol, I'm not going to tell them in a text where they get screenshot and send it to whoever they want. So I tell them face to face. And, some people aren't the best liars. So like, if you get them and you kind of ask them straight up, like, so are you going to do this? And if they panic, you can just tell them they're lying. If they're like, oh no, I got you, Frank, no problem. I'm like, good, because I was like worried there
Yeah.
for a minute. And I would do that all the time. And I did that. I've been doing it since. I did that in the Discord All-Star game I just played.
Yeah.
There was the hosts are like, I didn't even realize there's a video setting on Discord. And I literally started a video call and everybody joined me. Like it was just like something I just did all season. I did it all every time I play now. It's just, hey, you want a video chat and just talk and just see what they're thinking. And
I like video chatting, but not on the first day. I don't like I don't like video chatting people on the very, very first day of open like chat. That's my only stick, because I want to get to know everyone through text first, and then I'll.
Yeah, I don't ask everybody to do it the first day, but I did it like the second, third day when I'm on the tribes, especially those small tribes. You have to make those connections.
Yeah, I think
what I'm not a fan of is when hosts start the group chat like 2 weeks before the org starts. Like,
oh yeah,
I can't do that.
No. See, I hate pre-gaming like
me too
so much. So like we try to really make it where like nobody knows the cast until last minute. I mean, some people go out and tell people they've been casted and stuff, and you can't really prevent it, but I mean, you try your best.
Yeah.
And like we're about to have all-stars, and we're going to be pretty strict on like the rules we set as far as like pre-gaming goes. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Yeah, as a host, you got to make sure you do the best you can, but of course you're not going to prevent it. Like, and you know what? And nobody wants to be that person that snitches on everybody who's doing it. So
yeah, the truth. Yeah,
because either if you do it, like, because like if you slap a hand, like, because you're in a dilemma: is do I just give them a slap on the wrist? If I put a slap on the wrist, people are going to know who did it. They're going to be in trouble. It's like, so it's like a big can of worms. I've had it where I played games and people were like, "Oh, you playing?" And I never like talk strategy with people. I just say, "Yeah, I'm playing," and and just like give them like a head nod, maybe the person like super duper. I knew Jay was playing, but like I never had intentions of taking Jay that far. You knew that. Like I knew Jay was gonna try to do something snaky against me, and just because that's the way he plays.
That was the wildest thing
Jay's
when he did
at
merge.
I'll give him that, because like when I play with Jay and Broski, I will admit that he was one of the people, persons that I played with that he had me on hook, line, and sinker a couple times, and it took me coming to my senses a little bit to kind of figure out what he was doing. I think Jay's a good player.
So super duper that move, that the merge boot was the craziest boot I've ever been part of.
I don't know why he flipped. I really don't. Hey, I mean, I do know why, because he just said he was bored because he never went to a tribal or went to one or whatever, maybe, and he was just like, "Oh, I'm ready to be chaotic and do crazy shit." I'm like, "All right, good luck with that." Even though if you probably stay with this majority tribe, you'll probably win the game, but just do whatever you feel like doing, I guess.
Yeah, that was the craziest thing, and I tried to play it up like people didn't give me the credit for what I did after the vote, like they don't realize I blindsided the entire cast besides 3 people.
Yeah.
Even my allies and KT and Jay, I blindsided both of them. Yeah. I did that consciously. I was like, I'm gonna leave them out to test their boundaries. And I told this to Cole, I was like, instead of you trying to pull Jay and KT back in because I just blindsided them, you guys just pushed them closer to me. I spent on the phone with KT for like 40 minutes after the vote, apologizing, saying, "Hey, I believe in you."
I'm trying to think of. So another one of my favorite players is actually from your season, and it's Kyle. I was a huge fan of Kyle. I was pissed he got voted out. So it sucked watching him get voted out, but he was one of my favorites for sure.
To be fair, he did it to himself.
No, yeah, definitely.
You don't sit there and leave me on read and like, I was on the phone when he was talking to Jay. Jay was reading the messages. He's like, Kyle's telling everybody the plan.
Yeah, so I mean, Kyle was running it. Like, I mean, they had that group, whatever tribe they were. I mean, he really thought they were locked in together, and he seems super loyal. So he was like, he was just totally for it. So he was one of my favorites. I'm a big fan of Seb, Cole. You were one of my favorites. Then, like I said, Katie, I'm a big fan of Katie. She was part of season 1. She's had the longest confessionals by far. She would send like 2 7-minute, 8-minute confessionals like each day, and it was just like long confessionals, and it was great. I mean, she really put everything into the game, and it was just fun.
I was so upset that I couldn't get my championship winning confessional at the end. Like I did it right at the very beginning of the game. I did the TikTok I made, and
Yeah, I remember
really
that.
was like, "I'm gonna post this if you win." I was like, "You better." And then like I was so close to like just be like
You
I
sent me
did.
that. I remember you sending me
I
that.
called my shot before I sent it to Farah. I sent it to a few people, and they're like, "You better not show this to anybody." I was like, "I'm not showing it to people. Come on."
Yeah.
But I was like, "Man, they're like, you're a little confident." I was like, "Dude, I loved the cast because I didn't know a lot of people. Like I knew Jay, I knew Kate who KT was, and I knew who Cameron was, but that was about it. Like,
Has
Joey
Kate
too.
played any of your seasons? Was
Who?
Kate in any of your seasons? Kate B.
Yeah, she just played. She was season 4. She was pre-merge boot.
Okay.
She got tribe swap screwed.
Oh. Fair enough.
Yeah. Yeah,
She's
she
pretty
just
good. I played with her before.
Yeah. Actually, I mean, I played Torque, so she hosted me, and she was a great host.
I'm playing with her right now in SOG. I'm playing
Yeah.
with all the Torque hosts. All the Torque
Yeah, that's
hosts.
crazy.
SOG Cast. Have you seen SOG Cast, Tony? It is stacked.
Yeah. Yeah, Vreeland was gonna play, but he backed out after he got voted.
Yeah.
He got screwed in Broski.
I know. I was like, I'm not gonna lie. I wanted to vote for Vreeland out so bad. I wanted to work with
I
him
played
and just
with
like.
Vreeland.
You think?
Or no, maybe I did play with Vreeland. I think I played with Vreeland in SOG.
Yeah.
Okay. I think he was on my SOG season, but he made it way farther than me.
Mm-hmm.
You played season 19 of SOG?
She played 18 and 19.
Oh, I didn't know you played 19.
Yeah, I was like second vote out. So like
No,
Okay.
you didn't. You got swap. You were in a swap, so you weren't the second vote out because you just had the battle back and Tristan came back. So it was like 4 or 5 votes in.
Yeah. So okay. So the first time I played SOG, that was like my second org I ever played, and fucking Jester screwed me over and got me out. Still mad at him about it. You're watching this, Jester. I'm still mad at you about it, and you know it. So so this is actually what happened. He lied and told someone he didn't lie, but Frank and I are best friends. Okay. Like you and Vreeland, like me and Frank are best friends. We talk every day, all that good stuff.
Yeah.
And Jester knew that. And I played SOG my first season with his wife, Mariah, but she was on the other tribe and I was on the other one. And I was on a tribe with Jester. Jester told everyone in my tribe that I knew Mariah and that I was aligned with her, and they all voted me out. And that wasn't true at all. I wasn't with Mariah at all. I hadn't even talked to Mariah about it. So fuck you, Jester. I'm still mad at you about that.
Okay.
Second time I played, I was actually in really good standing. I had a really good alliance with who was it? Help me out, Frank.
You had Anthony and Marissa. You're working with
that was before we had to swap though. And then we swapped, and then I think I was with a guy named Mark or Matt or
Matt.
Yeah.
Matt. And then but maybe it was Matt. And then so me, Matt, and there was someone else in that tribe too. We were all three like locked together, like good to go. We were all gonna vote Tristan out. And Tristan had an idol and played it, and I was the one person that he voted for, and I went home.
Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, it was really shitty. So that was my second time playing SOG, and I was out like 5th. And so I think I was second boot in my first SOG game, and then I came back and played again the next season, and I was like 5th out. So I'm just like, fuck.
Yeah.
We've all had that we all had that idol play against us because I've had it happen to me too. So it's
I was so mad. I was so mad. Everyone else was mad too because Tristan was like barely I mean, no offense, Tristan, if you're watching this, but kid's barely active in any of the orgs he plays. He just plays too many at one time and he spreads himself too thin.
Yeah.
But everyone was mad because it's like he was barely playing, and then I was like, in good standing and got idled out. It sucked.
All right, so I have one last question for you.
Okay.
About Super Duper. Who is the best player to never win Super Duper, and why is it me?
Honestly, you probably are up there.
Yeah, of course you said Lynn. Lynn's great. I love Lynn.
Lynn's up there. You're up there. I mean, Robbie's the best strategic player we've had.
He's something. I played with
Do
him
you think
before.
Robbie has host, like since he's host, that helps him out? You think people that host typically play a better game?
I don't know. I don't feel like it does.
No.
I mean, not as far as me playing. I don't feel like it makes any difference. Well, I'll say in Torg, like I wanted to align with Katie in Torg because I hosted her and I knew she was loyal and like I thought she was cool. So like, I mean that did help me align with Katie, but I feel like I would have done that anyway, even if I didn't know, because I mean she just kind of gives us that vibe. So there's Lynn, Frank, OJ from season 3. He killed it. Taryn killed it. Trying to think of who else. Aaron from your season, I thought was playing really well, especially for somebody who like nobody knew. He was like a new org player. So I don't know. I thought he played great.
His biggest mistake with me was when he told me the reason why he voted out Michaela. He's
Yeah.
like, I felt like I couldn't beat Michaela at the end, and I was like, well, if you feel that way about her, if you're gonna feel that way about me later on, you're gonna vote me out. So after he told me that face to face, I was like, I'm voting him out. That was he should have said, I wanted to be closer to you. If he would have said that, I probably would let it go, because that's what I would have said. But like him saying that, I was like, if he finds her a threat, if he finds me a threat later, he's gonna try to vote me out. So I was like,
I didn't realize he was like gonna be good until like late into the game. Vreeland actually was a way bigger fan of Aaron than I was early on. I was like, I don't see it. I don't know. I mean, he's solid at challenges, whatever. But he really picked up his game at Merge, I feel like, and started playing well.
I feel like he made the one move too early, I think.
Yeah, I think you're right, actually. Yeah.
Because I still had so much power in the game that he should have waited to where he could have had Cole. He should have fully flipped if he was gonna flip. But by trying to come back to me and saying that to me, I still had so much sway. And then as soon as he said that to me, I jumped right into Cole and I took Cole.
Yeah.
And instead of claiming Cole for himself, he let me claim Cole. And so by doing that, that's why if he waited one more round to do it, I think he might have probably won.
Yeah, he definitely could have. So I'd say those are like my 4. I'd say
that's your Mount Rushmore.
Yeah.
Of non-winners.
Yeah, of non-winners.
No winner of non-winners. It'd actually probably be. I mean, I'm trying to think if it would be 2 girls. It'd be Lynn and Taryn. 2 guys. It would be. It would be Frank. One of them. Who? All right, season 3. Trying to think. All right, so probably
Robbie.
No, his social game was so bad. Like, I mean, if he had any sort of a social game, it would be him. But I can't pick him just based off his strategic skills. I think Zach's a good player, but I wouldn't put him on there. And OJ, I know OJ in real life. I played softball with him, and I got him to play, and he kind of just got into Survivor like a couple months ago. And it's probably me being a little bit biased, but I thought he actually played really well too. So I'd probably actually put him up there as non-winner.
I'll tell you what, I don't know how you guys find these real life Survivor friends, because they don't exist in my world. Like, I can't find anyone to watch Survivor with me. I try to get people, I'm like, come on, just watch one season with me. I'll pick a good one for you. And they're just like, not my thing. And I'm like, but you won't even try it.
Yeah. So and you said you kept up with season 1 and stuff, but Nick Blake, he was the last pre-merge boot, and he was actually playing really well, and Jake screwed him over big time. He's actually a friend in real life too.
Okay. Yeah, I was watching because Laura and Allison and James and all of them were playing. And
and Laura and James are great too. They're right there behind like the 4 I named.
Yeah, personally love Laura and James.
Yeah.
Me and James did not always get along game wise, but as a
Yeah.
person, I have nothing bad to say about the guy.
Yeah.
So it's fun to watch your friends play and like get their insight. And like I said, I asked every one of them, Allison, James, Laura, did you enjoy Super Duper? Because like I was thinking of applying, and they actually I think Laura wanted me to apply with her, or Allison, one of the two asked me to do it with them. I said no. And they're like, why? I was like, I just don't do. I did it. The last time I did a first season, it was really bad. And so I was like, no matter what, I want to make sure they get their feet wet and get info on it. No offense to them.
Have I played with Allison yet? Maybe I have played with Allison.
Yeah, she voted me out of Broski. And you.
Allison's like a low-key challenge
Allison
beast
didn't play
sometimes.
with us.
Yeah, she was the returning player with me.
Oh yeah, I barely talked to her. Barely. That's why I don't remember her, because I barely. No offense, Allison. We barely talked. I mean, she'll tell you too. I totally forgot.
She did me dirty too. I never forgive her for
Yeah.
that. So you watched Australian Outback, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are about to start. So what's your like? Don't talk about it. Just like, what's your impressions of it? Where would you rank it around area? Just general area.
It falls right around the middle for me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want me to say anything about it, or what?
We are not spoiler free, so we talk about whatever Survivor you want to talk about. There's no yeah.
Just don't go in, like, you don't have to go in immense details. Just talk about some of your favorite.
Yeah.
We're gonna be spending the next month going into detail about AO. So I mean,
I think Colby I thought Colby was great. And Jerry, Jerry's cool. He had that first, like, villain thing kind of, so it was cool watching that and their kind of connection. Amber, I thought Amber was great that season, challenge wise, and I mean, Tina, I'm not a huge fan of winning wise, but she played okay. Just around middle tier, I guess. It's a middle tier season for me.
Yeah, fair. That's pretty much where we have it too.
Yeah. Borneo was way better on the rewatch than I remember. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is better. So I'm excited.
I'm an old Survivor stan, and Frank is more of a new Survivor stan, so we complement each other well in this way, because I like AO. Again, it falls around the middle for me, but like I enjoy seeing there's just a lot of people that come back from AO too. Like there's a lot of noteworthy players on there.
Yeah.
And I feel like the season, I like the location. And I feel like the season, while it doesn't have a lot of gameplay, it's still fun. And I like that. So I'm excited for AO. We're and then after AO, we're gonna do Big Brother 2.
Yeah.
We'll be moving on to Big Brother.
Yeah, finally. I'm fiending for some Big Brother. But we have been talking for a while, and I appreciate your time,
guys. If you're still with us.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna take it down a little bit, but yeah, I appreciate your time. And
no. Shameless plug time. Shameless plug. Come on, shameless plug. Tony, what do you want to plug?
Wait, what?
Shameless plug. What do you want to plug? Plug in your org, right?
Oh, you mean like Super Duper?
Yeah.
Like, so, where can people find Super Duper?
Okay, so honestly, if you want to play a fun game with people, okay, so this past season we had people with pregame connections, but it's because we knew we had season 5 coming up with All Stars, so we wanted to have some big names play. So season 4 we had some pregame connections, I guess, people who knew each other, but we try really, really, really hard to like get people to play with new people who they don't have connections with. And I think that's really cool. I think a lot of orgs don't really do that. So I say that's one of our pros. We try really hard to come up with new challenges, and we have a $200 cash prize. So like,
woo, $200. That is what we like to hear. Everyone loves winning some money.
Yeah. So join Super Duper Survivor org. That'd be cool.
Yeah. Join. It's a lot of fun. You should play. Amanda, you need to play. I encourage anybody to play. I enjoy it. So I enjoyed my time with Super Duper. I was laughing so many times in my confessional, just having a ball. So that's what it's all about, having fun and enjoying yourself.
I'll apply for season 6. Yes. I only do one org at a time, so I'm taking a lovable break right now, but I definitely will.
So we are
Sweet.
definitely going to continue doing this with other hosts and players.
Yeah, this
In
is
between
cool.
in between each season, so it gives us a little break. And so after AU, we'll have a new guest, and if you are interested, just ask, and or we'll ask whoever. But if you are interested and you want to be on the podcast, just let me or Amanda know, and we'll slot you in. We don't just, we just started this, and Tony was the first person I thought of, because when I talked to him about it, he was all for it. He's like, you need to talk
Yeah.
about org stuff. So I was like, you know what, this is the perfect first guest.
Yes.
So yeah, this is something we just decided to do like 2 weeks ago, and we just made it happen. Yeah, join our Facebook page too, please. We post all our YouTube videos. We're gonna start doing polls and stuff like that, more active on it. We're still a little slow. My busy self got myself into 2 games, and I'm editing this, so bear with me. I'm sorry, it's my fault. But yeah, thank you, Tony, for your time. I had a lot of fun. I hope you enjoyed
for having
yourself
me.
as well.
Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like, comment, please, share, tell a friend, and have a good night.
We're gonna start AO. Be ready
Yes,
for
AO next. Bye.